Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, sampler every series of videos I would do for a little while. I go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff and drink stuff, then, folks, I'm going to talk about stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff that time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie. It's very cold today, and this drink is inappropriate for the weather. But we'll get to that. Folks, it's super simple format. I'm going to go over there and try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammering on about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I am inside my truck, and whilst I'm doing all that, folks, I'm wearing a super cool shirt. Folks, when I wear super cool shirts, I always like to highlight the super cool shirt. But what super cool shirt am I wearing for you today? Well, it happens to be my central disorder shirt. You can see it. It's a very busy design, but it's very cool. What is Central Disorder, though? Central Disorder, they are a local metal band out of Illinois that I became aware of a few years ago at the time I'm doing this. They were on a bill for a show that I was at. I'd never heard of them before. They were one of the openers, and I fucking loved them. I like to support the local music scene as much as I like to support the local food scene and everything. And, I've been out and I've seen a lot of really great local bands and stuff. But every now and again, one of them hits a little bit harder than most. And Central Disorder was one of those ones for me. It was one of those ones where, pretty much as soon as they started playing and I got into it, it was just putting a note in my phone, Central Disorder. As soon as they got done playing, it was like, I must buy merch. And hence the merch. I actually also have some videos of their performance that I attended. They are fantastic, incredible band, really nice guys. If you want to check out those videos, they're on the channel. If nothing else, I'd be more than happy to point you in the right direction if you're interested at all. But anyway, what am I trying for you today, folks? Why is it inappropriate for the weather? Well, like I said, it's very cold today. It's about 16 degrees out, according to my car. Pretty damn chilly. And I decided to get an iced drink, but from where? Boom! From Starbucks. I got their iced matcha latte. It's green! Interesting fun fact about your guy, Brandon Wenzel. He likes a matcha latte. I don't know if that makes me bougie or a hipster or not. I don't know where that falls. But man, do I like a matcha latte. Now, usually when I get one, it's from Dunkin' Donuts, because it's a thing that a lot of times they'll have available. I don't think I've ever had one from Starbucks. And so when I saw that they had one as, one of their specialty drinks for the season, I was like, So, let's get a thing for the thing here. It looks like this. We'll go, ha, 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 ha. And let's taste the green. Also, I want to mention, the lady who went over there and made my drink was extremely nice. As it turned out, she actually had a son named Brandon as well. So we had this very nice little polite conversation between the two of us. If she happens to see this, you made my day. So, let's give it a go. I like matcha. Matcha is a weird thing because, it's become more pervasive in, the West, or at least in the United States. Whereas, certainly when I was growing up, man, you didn't hear shit about matcha. That wasn't, I'd say even well into probably my 20s, I don't think matcha was really much of a common terminology that you would come across, at least not here in the Midwest. But as it's become more pervasive, I personally, not only am I a big fan of it, but on top of that, it's really cool to see that it's caught on with a lot of people, especially because it has such a unique color and flavor profile. If you've never had a matcha latte or something like that, it's very distinct, and it's one of those you're going to either love it or hate it things, because it has a very sort of earthy vibe to it. The best way I could kind of describe it a little bit, it sort of tastes a little bit like seaweed, but creamy, and yeah, it's weird. I love it though. I think the first one I ever had was a few years ago, again from Dunkin' Donuts, and I just really dug it. Just something about it. This incarnation of it is a very nice incarnation of it. It's nice and creamy. It's definitely less sweet, I would say, than a Dunkin' Donuts. Um, Maybe not by like leaps and bounds, but I feel like I'm getting more of the creaminess and more of the matcha flavor. Whereas I do feel like with Dunkin' Donuts, maybe they add in a little bit more sweetness or a little additive or whatever. Mind you, I'm not saying that one is better than the other. I actually really like both, but it's just a difference of note. But yeah, it's very smooth, very creamy, and then it just has that very earthy hit to it from the matcha. And like again, like I mean, saying it tastes like seaweed might not sound the most appetizing, but if you're somebody like myself, where you enjoy a lot of Asian food and Japanese food and stuff like that, you may very well be very familiar with the idea of seaweed in use in food and stuff, and how tasty it can be. If you're somebody who's not, if you're not that familiar with it, it is, like I said, not everybody's going to be into it. I could definitely see some people, just really not being into it. But for me, I think it's really nice. And like I said, I think that this Starbucks version of it is really good. It hits the way I want it to hit. The matcha flavor is nice. It's not overly strong. I have had matcha lattes in the past that were a bit too strong on the matcha flavor, and it was almost a little abrasive. That's not the case here. The matcha's doing its job. It's definitely the hero of the drink, but again, it's not like punching you in the face or anything. It's just a nice element that goes along with the creaminess and everything, and I personally like it. I think it's good. Now all that said, two questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? I'm going to go with yes and yes. Now, I will say this. Is it the best matcha latte I've ever had in the world? No. I've definitely especially like more sort of, bespoke, like local, coffee shops and stuff like that. Not that I hit those all that regularly, but, I've got a couple that I like to go to every now and again. Yeah, I've definitely had ones that, again, just a little bit more razzle dazzle, a little bit more here or there. Something, just a little something that worked a little bit stronger for me. Now, if I am comparing it against the Dunkin' Donuts version that I've had, and I'm going off of memory, obviously, like I said, the main thing that strikes out to me is it's a little bit less sweet. And that could really go either way. That really, for me, would be just sort of, whichever I had that slight preference for. But the overall of both of them are very nice. And like I said, they hit the way I want them to hit. Nice and creamy, nice matcha flavor. Bob's your uncle. Bob's my uncle, by the way. I like it, though. And I do think I would get it again. Now, if I'm recommending it, here's the thing. If you already enjoy matcha and, you already enjoy, it in latte format, this is a perfectly, good setup for it. Like I said, if you've already got like a cool coffee shop or something like that does one that you like, this probably won't be to quite that same standard, but it's more than serviceable. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. In terms of, I would say, again, if I'm comparing it against like the Dunkin' Donuts, maybe the only thing that Dunkin' Donuts might have would be a little bit on price. I do feel like you're going to get a bigger beverage. And I mean, I can't do a direct price comparison right now because, but that would be, I think, maybe the only thing that would sway you one way or the other. Because otherwise, I think they're both good. Though I will say, I do feel that the Starbucks one, because a lot of times you get like that, sort of matcha residue at the bottom. I do think that this one was blended up a little bit better than I typically had at Dunkin' Donuts. Typically. But anyway, 5 things before I get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of your week, monumental rest of month, stupendous rest of your year. Folks, go for yourselves truly matcha-tastic rest of your life. Because, folks, matcha's tasty. And if you've never had it, I do recommend it. Just, again, find a format that works for you. And final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do if you can't do it all the time, I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Now, folks, it's not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back, try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives, hopefully do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, have you had any experience with matcha? And if so, was it your thing or not? Let me know. I'd really be interested on this one. I mean, I'm always interested anyway. That's the point of me asking these little outro questions. But like I said, matcha is one of those things that, it came to me later in my life. I mean, not that I'm old or anything. I'm a little old. I'm almost 40. Ugh. But it is something that, it's really only come into my life sort of more in the last, few years or so. But I'm definitely a big fan, so I'm interested to hear your response to that. But anyway.